All right. Hello everyone. This is FPL Under the Radar Game Week 6 preview video. This is FPL Wrangler again hosting this show. Our regular host FPL Kante is still not feeling well, so we are hoping he's gonna join in the future videos. But yeah, ZD is with me today to preview Game Week 6. How are you, ZD?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Maybe less than, I don't know, less than
12 hours, yeah.
12 hours, right? To the deadline. This time around, the deadline is a little bit later, right? We don't have early kickoff that we used to have usually at 7:30 our local time, but it's going to be at 10 o'clock. So we'll have some time at least in the morning
Mm.
to get some news or whatever it is, and so that's good for us, to the US folks especially. So yeah, looking forward to it. Let's see how much miseries we have looking in this game week again. Last game week was like completely like disasters, right? Disastrous for like most of the people, right? So we'll see how it goes this time. So we already had our game week 5 review video. If you didn't check, please check this out. And also like our if you like our contents, please follow us on uh, Twitter as well as subscribe our YouTube channel, FPL Under the Radar. Okay, so let's move on. We're going to start with again fixture congestion. Last time also we presented this, so we are actually right now basically before the game week 6, where the dotted line you see. So we already had the Europe games in the last week. So like Man City already played, they already won as well, 3-1. It was like a complete domination as expected, but Haaland couldn't score, but Alvarez scored 2 goals, right? So that's again a news, and Alvarez is definitely, as we discussed before as well, that he's gonna be the most popular transfer in game week 6. And if there is a leak, definitely that he's starting, then definitely the ownership will be very high as well. And he looks sharp. It's not like uh, for a 1 week punt or so. He looks sharp. He has been playing for like he's been starting and also playing for a long time. I think he's been playing like almost 90 minutes in every game. So a very good asset at 6.9 million right now. One highlight also was Bernardo Silva got subbed off, right? So which actually improved the X minutes, especially for Foden and Alvarez as well. But Doku also came, I think, just before the halftime. He also looked good. Grealish is also in the training, looks like. So but yeah, I mean, definitely, um, City's had good gap since their last UCL game, and next game is Nottingham Forest at home, so very good matchup for them. Arsenal right now again, they won 4-0, right? So they also completely dominated versus PSV. Saka scored 1 goal, 1 assist, and Trossard also scored 1 goal and then 1 assist. Jesus also scored 1 goal, and Odegaard scored 1 goal. So basically, all of their uh, like good assets gave like return, which is he should be happy if you are owner. Martinelli is still out. Well, Arteta actually didn't completely rule out him, but I think he didn't. He was not
He didn't
shown up
training, yeah.
in the training, at his last training. But they have one more day also because the game is on Sunday. But I don't know. We'll see. But otherwise, probably Trossard is starting. So Man United versus Bayern. That was like 4-3. Basically, every time Man United scored a goal, and then they again conceded a goal,
Yeah.
and the first goal was completely uh, like basically Onana's
Mistake, yep.
mistake. But again, I mean, as a Man United fan, I would say, I mean, I'm not very disappointed. It was okay. I think Bayern is a good team anyways, right? And we went there to play with them. So I expected even probably the goal wise it's gonna be 3-1 or something like.
Yeah, it could be
I'm glad.
bad. Other,
Right.
but
So I think
the
we
game was
get
good.
right. So at least that's something to cherish about. And Man United is playing next Burnley. So which is tomorrow. I think our time is 3 o'clock. So we have we got although there is only 2 days turnaround, but we got some gap at least hours wise because it's gonna be tomorrow is the last game. Next, Newcastle. It was a draw versus Milan 0-0, but they actually started with a full strength. Isak started in the UCL game, and I think there is a leak today. At least that Wilson starts in game week 6. I don't know how the legitimacy of this leak, but at least that makes sense as well because Wilson is fit and he was doing good as well. Whenever he came on, he scored. Even last game also he started versus Brentford and he scored a goal as well. Although it's a penalty, but before that one he also scored one goal, which basically ruled out. So yeah, I think he's probably starting, and they actually had decent amount of gap, right, around 4 days, which is really good versus Sheffield United as well. So that's one. Liverpool, they kind of had kind of a mix. They didn't Salah didn't start, but Darwin started, right? So Darwin, I think, had one goal, one assist, and Salah scored one goal. Uh, so they won also 3-1. So I think Salah is definitely starting versus West Ham. Darwin probably not. I don't know. He played 90 minutes, so I don't think he's starting versus West Ham, but something to see as well.
It could
Brighton,
be Jota and Hapo.
yeah, I think yeah, I mean that's what I expect at least. Jota and
Mm.
Hapo makes more sense because Luis Diaz and Darwin started in the Europa. Brighton, they lost 2-3. Is it 2-3? 2-3, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they lost 2-3.
in home game.
Uh, right, in the home game, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah,
But
but they had 70% possession, but
I mean,
still
yeah,
they
but it's still
lost.
right. I
Yeah.
mean, they couldn't win. But anyways, that was a Thursday game. Estupinan played 90 minutes, but I think he's. I mean, I I'm not sure about his
Mm.
starting, but at least I didn't see anyone say that he's a red flag or all the predictors that we kind of trust more those people that the Brighton fans think he's most likely starting like 90 or 95%. So, but Lamte probably start from the right. We'll see.
And yeah, I think he
Or
no Milner started and Lemtek came on
no, but
55
what I'm saying
minutes.
like for the next game week, like in
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
versus
could be.
Bournemouth. But anyways, we don't know. Joao Pedro started. So Welbeck probably is gonna start. What did Welbeck play in the Europe? I forgot. But Ferguson was. I mean, at least we were thinking that Ferguson gonna start definitely versus Bournemouth in this game week. But in today's press conference, like Deserby was not very clear about it. He was saying that we still need to do some assessment. He has some illness or something like that. So we'll see. I mean, it's a Sunday game, so I don't think we're gonna get any news. But let's see. Villa also lost 2-3, but again they didn't start with their full strength, right? Diaby came on later. I think Watkins also came on later. Lucardini scored, I believe. Moreno was on the bench full time. He didn't come on, but Matikash started from the bench. So I think Matikash starts again in the next game week. And Watkins, like popular assets like Diaby, Watkins, Matikash, I think should be good for the next game week. And I think, I mean, yeah, they traveled to Poland, but I think um, the players like the popular assets they got some rest. I think at least they didn't play the full game, so it should be good versus Chelsea. I think West Ham won again, right? They didn't start with their full strength, but they won, so that's good. Uh, and I think JWP had two assists, I believe,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So he is going completely under the radar, right? He also scored a goal in last game versus City. Uh, so yeah, I think, and then Spurs and Chelsea didn't have any Europe games, so they had enough gap, and they had like for the next game, which is good for them. Anything you want to add? Anything? Did I miss anything, or if you want to add here in
No,
this discussion?
you covered well. We can move to the next one probably.
Okay. All right, so let's move to the next one. So here, basically, we wanted to show some fixture swings uh, that we can see in the next few game weeks. So in the left plot, it's showing the attacking fixture difficulty from 6 to 8. So yes, say if you are on wildcard, for example, now, then you can see, like, which teams are having good fixture from 6 to 8, and then 9 to 12. And if you are on wildcard around an 8 game week 8 to 10 window, then you can think like which transfer probably you can make in this game week 6 to 8, whenever you do wildcard and dead end your team, and then play the wildcard. So FPL Kante made this plot for us. He couldn't join, but it was a very good analysis. He did both attacking fixture difficulty and defensive fixture difficulty, which is in the next slide. So here, basically, he uh, averaged out the XG and XG considered of each team based on their home and away from last season's game week 17 till today. So basically, for promoted team, there, like, the data is not very much matured. Only 4 or 5 games, especially like Burnley or Luton, only had 4 games, but other teams basically had a very matured data, and that's why home and away is very important, because some teams like, I think, Newcastle, uh, their home and away, like like data are completely different. So it makes sense to divide them with home and away here. So here we are showing along x-axis again for each team's um, total xg based on, again, their home or away for game week 6 to 8 in the left plot, and along y-axis their opponents xg considered, again, if they're home and away, and for the right hand side it's for game week 9 to 12. So Ziri, you want to discuss about this plot? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you see from 6 to 8 attacking fixture, Newcastle, Luton, they have good fixture. I think Luton's double game looks good, right? And their opponent is good as, I mean, is not that strong. So I think that's why they are in that quadrant, like good attack, good fixtures.
I think
Um,
basically it's a summation, right? So
yeah,
here they have double game week, so that
yep,
kind of
yep.
inflates the values here as well.
Yeah,
So yeah.
so they have like 4 fixtures in 3 game weeks, so that's why they are in there for good fixture wise. And also, I mean, I think uh, 2 home games, right? No, 3 home games out of them, right? So I mean, it's actually a good fixture, although they are not that good probably, but fixture wise it is good. That's why it's there. Newcastle also has good attacking fixtures, attack wise, uh, but later from 9 to 12 they have good attack but bad fixture. So I think in short term wise from 6 to 8, if somebody wants to take punt, Newcastle forward could be a good one. I mean, we know
Yeah.
there is some rotation risk, but still that's one place where people there is like a huge upside, right? So, at if you want to target that fixture. And from 9 to 12, Liverpool also joins. Liverpool, Western Villa, Man United has great fixture. I think Tottenham has great fixture between 8 to 10. That's why
Mhm.
they are like in both of them, in
Yeah.
like in the below. But I think it's overall mix of thing. But 8 to 10 is the best fixtures
Yeah.
for them. And for in the below, good attack, bad fixture 6 to 8, Man United, um, Brighton, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Brentford, all of them is in there. They have good attack, but they have little bit bad fixture. I think because game week 8, uh, um, Arsenal has Man City and Man City has Arsenal. I mean, that's one reason.
Right.
And United, um, I
United is playing versus Crystal Palace. So
yep,
Crystal Palace data actually was good. So that's
yeah,
one thing as well,
yep,
because they did look good in the last season, at least defensively, right? So that's why
yep.
they fall under the fourth quadrant. So
Hmm.
I mean that and also they are playing against Brentford as well. So Brentford also defensively look good. So yeah, I think the data wise it makes sense. And for the Luton, basically, yeah, you are right. So their fixtures are Wolves at home, Everton away, Burnley home, and
Hmm.
Nottingham Forest away, which are really good fixture, as you said. Now whether we're
Yeah,
gonna go to that route or not, that's different thing.
that's
But
different thing. Yeah.
they have good fixture. You're right. Yeah, but yeah, I think for Man United, I think it makes sense. And for others as well, right? Man City and Arsenal, as you mentioned, and for Liverpool as well, right? So I think Liverpool is playing versus Spurs, right?
Hmm.
And also Brighton, right? And
Hmm.
Brighton also playing versus Liverpool. So yeah, they have good attack, but again, the fixture wise, it's not the best fixtures for them,
Yep.
right? From for
Yep.
6 to 8. So yeah, I think it makes sense. For
Yeah.
Chelsea, I think um, their attacking number was actually not really good in last season, right? So yeah, I mean, basically they didn't do well, but that's why actually you see like they're close to a first quadrant, right? They are good
Hmm.
attack or good fixture. So basically they're in the good fixture zone, right? And that's why from 6 to 8 we expected, although they couldn't perform as expected, like versus Nottingham Forest or Bournemouth, they couldn't get the result, and even actually they lost, right?
But the
Um,
fixtures are still there,
the
like until eight.
exactly the fixture is still there because I think
Mm.
they are playing Aston Villa at home and then Fulham and Burnley, right? So all are good fixture for them. So yeah, so that's 6 to 8. Anything you want to talk about 9 to 12? That's really interesting one for the wild
Yep.
cards, right? So
Yeah, yep. I mean, Villa, Liverpool, United, and Spurs. I mean, they have a good attacking swing. I mean, Spurs one we talked about it. It's mainly 8 to 10. But after Villa and Liverpool has absolutely brilliant fixture swing from there.
yeah,
So those are like targetable team. When if you anybody wants to take some asset, it's from there. And g- Brentford, Arsenal, Newcastle, Brighton, City. I know City has little tougher fixture. I mean, they are elite attacker, but they
right.
little bit difficult on paper fixtures. Chelsea has very bad fixtures during
That's
that
true.
time. Yeah,
That's true.
so yeah, but this shows that Villa and Liverpool has a very good fixture swing during that time. Also, seems like all Crystal Palace, West Ham, um, Sheffield, they have good fixtures, but attacking wise, they are not that good. Oh, that's what
Right.
we can see from here. Probably, I think West Ham fixture is good in a sense, like a kind of mix. They could be good enabler during that time. People are in
From
the
9 to 12,
wildcard.
right? You
Yeah,
mean?
from 9 to 12. Like those want to play wildcard like after 8. I think West Ham could be a good punt on there, like a good
Yeah,
enabler.
yeah, but yeah, you're right. The fixture wise, West Ham and is actually good, but you see, like so Liverpool is there, right? So you have to get Salah first of all if you believe the way they are going, right? The fixture
Yeah,
swing,
yeah,
and then you need Aston Villa as well, right? And at least from Arsenal, you can think of like at least Saka, right?
yeah.
So for
No, from
Villa,
West
it's
Ham probably.
yeah.
I think
JWP or Bowen, we will
JWP or
see,
Bond.
we'll
Yeah,
see, and
those
or
could
for,
be
or
good
probably
options.
Eze from Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
So
they have good
yeah,
features from there.
yeah,
So.
we have to find out like a balance because you cannot accommodate all of them. But yeah, the fixture is there.
Mhm.
Aston Villa is actually showing this. So whoever is wildcarding right now, they have to have this in mind that like they will need Aston Villa players at least from game week 9 to 12. Their fixture from 6 to 8 doesn't look as good as from 9 to 12, right? So, and I think Brighton fixture also turns good from game week 10. I think
Mhm. Yeah,
so.
yeah. From 10, it's very good features.
Yes. So yeah, I think I don't know if so. As you say, Chelsea, you need to offload complete their fixture. Turned really
Yep.
bad after game 9 to 12. So yeah, I think this is a good chart. Again, shout out to FPL Kante for creating that. That at least gives at least us and also other uh, people in the community to at least see how the fixtures look like the in game week 6 to 8 and 9 to 12. All right, let's move on to the defensive fixture difficulty. So here
Hmm.
basically, here you're saying that each team's xg considered along x-axis and along y-axis is opponent xg, so it's kind of just inverted, right? So from 6 to 8, again top right quadrant, right? Newcastle's is at the top right, right? So this is the probably the best time or optimal time to jump onto Newcastle defense, because we also saw in the previous slide for the offense as well. But for offense, there's a rotation as you mentioned. But for defense, I think that's the best fixture. Chelsea is still there. Man United, they are considering, but actually they have a like very good run, I would say. I mean, if I
Hmm.
just read out from 6 to 8, starting from 6, Burnley, Crystal Palace, then Brentford. Now, Crystal Palace and Brentford, they are tough games, but both of them are at Old Trafford. Okay. And then they are playing Sheffield. And then in game week 10, Man City home, that's a tough game. But again, then Fulham and Luton. Okay.
Yep.
So they actually have good run from 6 to 12. Now, if they cannot perform like Bruno or Rashford, then yeah, definitely we have to ditch them. But the fixture is there, and it's gonna be very difficult situation for the like FPL managers to decide if they start performing from this game week. Man City's defense also like at this defensive fixture looks okay from 6 to 8. Again, they are playing against Arsenal in the game week
Yeah, on
8.
it.
So, but otherwise, yeah, I think in 6 to 8
Yeah,
really,
Everton fixture is good, 6 to 8. I think they play with
yeah. But I don't
Luton.
think anyone is gonna go over there, right? I mean, I'm not sure people will have luxury to do that unless you
No,
like
the
you'd
Pickford
get
owners.
Danjuma or something like that.
Yeah,
So
Pickford owners can be
yeah,
optimistic
yeah,
around that
absolutely.
time, right?
That's a good
So
point. That's a good point. You should,
yeah.
yeah. It's a difficult, like, yeah, defensive fixture. So we should talk about
Hmm.
goalkeeper. So yeah, I think you're right because Everton is playing versus Luton and Bournemouth in game week 7 and 8, and they both are home game,
At a home game.
right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
you can expect, but Bournemouth actually, I think they're gonna concede, but we'll see.
Yeah,
But
Bournemouth usually they can score goals like anyone.
yeah,
So, yeah, that's true. But
right,
I mean, those are the fixtures Everton probably one could expect that they can keep the clean sheet. So, I mean,
right.
that's a good fixture zone. Um, yeah.
For 9 to 12, actually, there are a lot of teams in the first quadrant, right?
Yep.
Villa, Spurs, United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle, Brighton, Brentford. So I guess
Yeah.
again, yeah, I think
Here,
Villa. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I was going to say here again. I mean, you absolutely needs probably some Liverpool cover. I think the fixture swing
Yeah,
is very good for Liverpool assets and also for Villa as well. Um,
yeah.
yep.
I think yeah. Basically, I at least in my opinion that people need to trigger wildcard mostly for Salah, right?
Hmm.
Because that's when you need a lot of surgery for your team. If you want to get Salah, then you need like 8 to 12 minus like basically hit, and then that's when you think, you know what, let's trigger the wild card, right? So I think in that moment, if you think, because from game week 9 they're playing against Everton home, so
Everton.
yeah, so that's when actually if you think that I need Salah, I mean Trent might be fit by that time, or there'll be Robo if you think. So yeah, I think at least two assets I guess might be popular for Liverpool, and that's when you start uh, triggering wildcard, I guess. But if you can like navigate your transfer to get Salah a minimal hit from 9 to 10, around 9 to 10 game week, then I don't know when are you going to play wildcat, to be honest. So we'll see. I mean, we still we are gathering still a lot of information, right? And every week there are new narratives. We don't know that. So what is going to look like after the game, like international second international break. So there are a lot of information to get by that time. Uh,
Yeah, Mira in the chat, she's saying that Allison would be a good shout in during World Cup. Yeah, I think that's right. Although he's 5.5, but he's still Allison um, can be a good shout, right? So
yeah, I think Allison definitely a good shout. I
a
mean,
cheaper route for
e-
like from Liverpool.
yeah, that's true. Uh, I think Allison on like in isolation, basically he's the best keeper in isolation. We
Mm.
also saw goalkeeper data before as well, right? That clean sheet potential, save potential, bonus potential, he's really on top, right? It's just his price point a little bit weird, but again, in isolation, probably he's the best keeper, right?
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I think Mira is correct. He could be a very good shout. And
If
if you,
anybody cannot manage somehow
right,
Robo or
right.
Trent, I mean, Robo Trent actually provide more probably, but the problem is obviously price point.
The thing is, again, whenever you talk about Liverpool, you will need Salah, and whenever you accommodate both Salah and Haaland, it really gets very tricky, and that's where actually if you kind of want to save money from goalkeeper, you
Yep.
might think like 2-4-4, right? You might think that those people who didn't chase for like team value, those people like who wait for at the last minute to gather more information, they don't have a lot of team values, right? So, anyways, but that's, yeah, I agree. It's a good
Yeah,
shout.
listen, is
Will
a good shot.
it's
Yep.
something to be seen how it looks like. Uh, anything we miss here, ZD, or anything you that catch here?
Um, uh,
Okay,
no,
we can actually revisit again, by the way, on this spot, because again we'll have more information again, right, before the next international
yep,
break. The data will be more matured, and
yep,
we can revisit this again, how it looks like, right?
yep,
Uh, all right, let's move to the next one. So this is just game week 6 matchup here, right? The same XG considered an XG that the FPL Kante extracted based on the previous season's data and this season's data. Here just is the matchup for game week 6. Along x-axis, each team's expected goal, and along y-axis, opponents XG conceded. And there are a lot of good uh, actually fixture on pen and paper, right? Newcastle, Man United, Brentford, Man City, Brighton, Liverpool, uh, Chelsea also, Arsenal and Spurs. It's a North London derby, so you never know what's gonna happen. But apart from that, it's just like there are a lot of good games, and I
yep.
think managers will be so confused, I guess. I mean,
I
whom to
just
take.
hope like after 44 average game week, we will see a 70 average, right? I mean, the matchup
You
shows at
never
least.
know. You never know because there will be again. I don't know. We might see a lot of rotation because
Yeah,
of
that
that.
could be.
And then, if there are a lot of rotation, then you might not have 11 players, right? Or you might have like players like Kabore or someone coming from the bench. So I'm not very hopeful, to be honest. But at least we can hope, because again, the fixture, all the teams' fixture look really good. So yeah, I mean, Newcastle, as you can see at the top, Man United we already discussed. Brentford versus Everton, Man City versus Nottingham Forest, Brighton versus Bournemouth. So that's the best matchup, right? That's the best matchup one can think of. And who don't have Mitoma, and if Mitoma starts, I think that's a scary moment for a lot of
Yep.
non-owners, I think. Ferguson, if he starts, that's a really good matchup too, and also definitely I think Estupinan as well.
But so far, I mean, it's difficult to go to Ferguson because so far we know he did not train, right? So it will be a risky pick. But yeah,
Right.
but upside is there. Like if he can start and somebody say just want to take a punt, yeah, it's a good one.
Is the thing is Alvarez is there, right? So
Yeah.
if you know Alvarez is starting, then why going to that Ferguson route unless you want to save some money? I don't
Unless
think
Alvarez might give a blank, right?
well, but you don't know that before you start the game week, right? So
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know. I mean, we already discussed about fixture in previous
Yeah.
slides, so I don't know if there's anything to say here. So let's move on to our next under the radar pick for this game week, and we this is our this game week's under the radar pick, Callum Wilson. Basically, whenever he started only one game last game week, and the previous games in previous 4 games, he always came from the bench. In first game, he scored 2 goals, I think, right? Uh, and next last in the last game also he scored 1 goal. So in terms of XG per 90, he's just next to Haaland. So basically, if you just take this season's data, although he started like only one game and he came from the bench, but per 90 in xgi or xg whatever you call it, or even np per xg, npxg, I think Darwin is top and he's third, but otherwise for xg he's the second, next to Holland. uh, and the fixture, as you can see, right, Sheffield, Burnley, and then West Ham away, but that's the okay fixture, and then Crystal Palace and Wolves, and that's what we just saw in the plot as well. That Newcastle in the very top, uh, in at least both attacking and defensive fixture wise. And if you think that Isak, is benched, so Isak started in the midweek. So if he's benched, and I think Callum Wilson is fit, and I think he's really he was always good, right? He's whenever he's fit, I think he's always good. So I always say that you hardly get time that Callum Wilson is fit. So whenever he's fit, you should get him, because he's gonna actually return, like give returns, right? So yeah, nothing to say much. He's our under the radar pick, and we'll see how he performs. Usually, all of our under the radar pick, by the way, at least performed, at least one or two game weeks, either in particular that game week, or at least after one game week, except Tonali maybe, but otherwise, Eze, Diaby, I think, and this time we are picking Wilson. We'll see. All right. Next, go to the team selection video. FPL Kantek, or he couldn't be with us, but this is his team. Just I'm reading it out. So Johnston in goal, and then he has Ruben Diaz, Estupinian, and Chilwell. And then in midfield, he has Madison, Rashford, Mbumo, Bruno Fernandes, and Saka. And his front line is Jackson and Haaland. So his first is bench is Kabore, and two other are injured or like in doubt. So he has two FTs, and I think he was thinking, at least we are discussing that he's thinking to get rid of. I mean, basically, first thing he's thinking to get at least one of the Newcastle defenders. It could be Trippier, it could be Botman,
But
but I think that's what he's leaning towards. So if he get rid of again, if he get rid of Rico Henry, then probably he's gonna get Botman. But if he get rid of Chilwell, then he's gonna get Trippier. And also for the forward, he's thinking Alvarez or Wilson. So something to be decided. But I think if he go with Wilson, then he cannot afford Trippier. So then he has to go with Botman. But if he goes with Alvarez, then he might go either Trippier or Botman. He has that flexibility. So yeah, I think all of us are probably waiting for some news in the morning. So um, he didn't do any transfer yet, but we'll see how the morning comes, and based on the news, probably we have to do transfer. But again, to the listeners and viewers, one thing to think about is that there are a lot of engagement nowadays, right? So again, we might have site crash. So just be prepared for it. At least have your thought process clear so that you can act accordingly very quickly. All right. My team and FPL contest team is exactly same, except I have Pickford and he had Johnston. Otherwise, our team is.
no, you have a Sterling. He has Maddie.
Oh yeah, actually we deviated there as well. So I have Starling and he has Madison. So yeah, otherwise I think 9 out of 11 players, at least in the outfield, basically they are same. I have also Cabor and I had Dico Henry, like him, and both of us are unlucky that we have a Everton fixture, but he's ruled out basically for a long time. So again, same thought as well. I'm also thinking to get rid of Rico Henry because that's the weakest link for us so far. So if I get rid of Rico Henry, then probably getting Botman, and then based on the news of Alvarez, we'll decide whether to remove Jackson or not. But Wilson also is our we are thinking about Wilson as well, and other transfer could be like just Trippier and Alvarez, and both of us are leaning towards like game week 9, 10 wildcard at that time as something like that. So even if we get Trippier right now and we think that later we need money or whatever it is, we can play wildcard, didn't the team around that time 9 and 10, and play the wild card and get rid of Trippier if we need to save some money, I guess. So I think it's okay to get Trippier right now. Um, so that's again. I'm gonna wait also until tomorrow any news, and otherwise, I think Botman is probably happening, I guess. But again, something to be seen. I might get Trippier as well. All right. Lastly, ZD's team. Yeah, if you can tell the, I think you already used one transfer as
Yeah,
well.
I
So yeah.
already used one transfer. So I have Johnston in goal. Then I transferred in Botman today in place of Baldock because Baldock was losing. I did not want to lose a like price or like a point one, because I mean there is no point of holding because I am pretty much set on Botman. So I thought I would bring Botman because I am not sure mm, if I want to Saliba, because seems like next game week I might need him, because S2 has like bad fixtures. Chilwell, I don't know he will start or not. So I wanted to keep Saliba. That's why I sold Baldock and I bought Botman. I have S2. I have Chilwell. I have Rashford, Foden, Saka, Madison, and Mbumo in the mid. And I have Jackson and Haaland as a captain. I have Turner as a backup goalie, and Saliba is in first bench, UDG in the second, and Osula as a third. So my other option, I might use another FT as well. So one could be was probably just getting rid of Jackson. It's mostly because of his four yellow card and also like kind of underperforming a lot. So one could be Alvarez. I was actually going to transfer him like in game week 3, like many of times, right? So right now, rather Alvarez, I'm more interested in Wilson. So that could be that is one. I'm more leaning towards Wilson rather Alvarez, but could be Alvarez. I could end up with Alvarez. I don't know. That's actually I will decide during deadline time. I was thinking like say for if Foden bench, probably I could sell him and buy initially like before this last game week. I was thinking of Bruno, but I mean as Bruno's needs to do some defensive duties most of the time, and United is kind of I'm not sure about that pick, so I don't see any um, standout picks for. I mean, not at least this game week. So probably I was thinking probably transfer out Saliba and take Trippier and play 4-4-2 and Foden in the bench. So that could be another option. Or another option could be Oscilla to Morris and play Foden bench and play Morris. But probably not good going to do that as well. So most probably, if Foden bans in any case, that would be Saliba to Trippier. Otherwise, could be Jackson to Wilson. I'm pretty set on that, but obviously, I will decide during deadline time.
Yeah, I think yeah, if you hear Foden bench, I think you'd be. I think also yeah. I mean, you should bench him and then just get Trippier and make 4-4-2.
Yeah.
And we also
Connor
have.
was asking me when wild cutting. I'm planning to wild cut in game week 10. So that's yeah. I mean, that's I'm not worrying about actually redistributing my fund.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's basically as I said, right? That when you think that you're gonna get Salah, I think, right? And that's when you have to play the wild card, I guess. I mean, at least that's my thought so far. So yeah, I mean, 9,
Um,
10, 8 to 10 would be the good
yep.
popular window, I think. Uh,
Mira has a question. What's going on with Chilwell? I reckon he plays. What do you think?
so at least like there are some like concern about Chilwell because like somewhere like at least some fans are thinking that like Pochettino rates him as a forward, and basically if that's the case, and if he doesn't want to like change his back line, then there could be a chance that Palmer can come and Sterling can play as well. In that case, Chilwell might not play as a as a left forward or whatever you call it. Now, whether he's going to start as a left back or not, that's we don't know yet. But again, I mean, it's all a prediction, like because like before the Bournemouth game, Pochettino just like mentioned that like he just think that Chilwell, he considers Chilwell as a forward. So that's kind of people are thinking that if he's as a forward, and Moody actually didn't play well either, right? Whenever he played in he whenever he started, in fact, whenever Chilwell played in the last uh, like I don't know, 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so. Actually, I think he played really well. He created chances as well. So at least I think he starts. At least our Chelsea fan, our FPL Kante also thinks he starts. But again, yeah, it's all like floating in the air. There's some tension there, nervousness there. So that's why
Yeah,
people are just kind of just being cautious. Whether you want to have that headache or not. But otherwise, I think. Um,
yeah. I
he's
think
gonna.
probably I might take a chance to play him because there is upside in
Yeah,
him, and
but again,
probably this game week. Not sure about the following weeks.
the thing is like again, Villa is a good side. So I mean, another thing as well that I mean, Villa might score, right? So that's another people are thinking in that as well that Trippier has better fixture, right?
Hmm.
Then and also if Trippier gets one assist, even without assist, it's probably 9 pointer game for
Yep.
him, right? And with assist or so is gonna be a 12 pointer game as well, right? So why bother about or worry about Chilwell, right? So that's one thing. But again, are we sure that Chilwell is starting? So there there are a lot of rumors or narratives going on, but I
Yeah.
think that's the thing. And Chilwell to Trippier could be a popular move. I think if you hear something in the morning that Chilwell has some concern or something like that.
Yeah, like say if you prioritize Trippier and you don't have any other route, obviously, I mean, Chilwell could be in the chopping block of,
Yeah,
and say you just want to give a chance, probably you can give a chance, but probably Trippier has better uh, point chance, getting point chance in this week. I mean, which Rangla just said. So probably in that sense,
yeah.
Trippier is could be a good option than Chilwell.
I actually even I mean I told you guys before as well that I'm confused about Estupiñán as well. I mean, yeah, Bournemouth game
Mhm.
is a very good matchup. But in case, I mean, he didn't start in the last game, right? And in case he doesn't start in the Bournemouth game, then next he's playing Aston Villa away, and that's when Kabore has double game week, right? So probably you're gonna play Kabore.
I don't
Um,
have a cover.
but yeah, I mean, say if you have
Yeah,
Kabore, but otherwise, yeah, he's fine. And then he's playing against I think Liverpool and Man City. So Liverpool home probably probably is a good matchup. But again,
yeah.
I find like it's gonna be very difficult if I mean
It's
great.
difficult because
Yeah,
it's only 2 days gap, and he played 90 minutes in the Europe.
yeah.
So
and
it's
and
so
Deserby actually like rotates
yeah. He
without
rotates. He
without
does not
without anything, right?
hesitate.
So
Yeah,
we
Lamptey is
never know,
the real
right?
Lamptey.
So
Milner can play everywhere, right? Even goalkeeper as well. So
yeah.
don't know.
So, but yeah, anyways, I think going back to the there, I mean, that's why our title of this pod is that are we looking forward to more miseries? Because there might be a lot of rotation, or there might not be. We don't know yet. But you just play your own game and just expect that your player starts.
We have few questions. One is
Okay.
selling Bruno Rashford for MBM Orte -4. I don't think so. Bruno
Yeah,
Rashford
me
has
neither. No,
has a
at least
great,
Rashford doesn't make any sense.
yeah,
Rashford look in this at least that current system so far we saw with Højlund and Rashford. I think Rashford should be more benefited than Bruno.
yeah.
uh, I think, and they should just need to create a more chemistry. But Rashford look really good. The narrative could be completely changed if you got that return, that Holland goal that ruled out, right? Otherwise, he looked good. Bruno, again, not uh, worth of hit, I guess. The fixture is there again, right? As we mentioned, but you can assess probably 1 or 2 more game weeks. But I would hold.
Yeah,
There was
if
one
it is
question
free
about
transfer, then could be an option. But I mean, could be, but still, I would
yeah,
not suggest probably.
yeah. And there is another thing about, I think, Trossard shout. Trossard is a good shout. We saw in the chat, because if Martinelli is out, then in that position, I think Trossard is gonna be very good, and he already started getting returns as well, right? He got returns, or he scored goal as well in the last game, and also in the UCL. So yeah, I think it's a very good shout for next two game weeks, given you wildcard him out later.
Hmm.
What other questions do you have?
Abdullah is asking, do you think United will win next three straight? Like, will win after the three straight defeats?
Um, I
Hope,
hope so. I
yeah,
hope
right.
so. Brentford game will be difficult. Brentford usually, like, they are very data like oriented team, and I think it's a very methodical team as well. So whenever any team plays against Brentford, I just feel that it's scary. It's a scary game for any big teams as well. So even in the last last season, we lost four goals. I think 4-0, I guess. So but yeah, I think we expect at least we should win at least next three out of the four games. Maybe one draw and three win. That's I expect.
Yep. Yeah, Connor was saying, yeah, I'll play Foden obviously without any question, but like say if he bans, then that's why I was talking about those scenario, like bringing Trippier and playing him. But if I don't think Foden will be benched, but it's like the flow chart. If
Yeah,
somehow Foden benched, you never
yeah.
know.
I don't think he will be benched. I mean, basically, as we discussed before at the very beginning, right? That basically Bernardo Silva's injury really up the X minutes for both Foden
Hmm.
and Alvarez. I hope so, but we'll see. Okay. Any other question that we missed from the chat or anyone?
No, I mean, thank you everyone who joined.
Yeah, thanks for all the questions, guys, and all the support. We really appreciate. And again, we posted all of this chart from our under the radar Twitter account. So please follow us, and also subscribe our YouTube channel to get notification whenever we do any videos. And we'll again come back with our regular review and preview video in the next game week as well. Until then, good luck to all of you. Good luck, Ziri, and I hope, or we all hope that Kante can join us in the next videos.
Yep. Good luck to
All right.
you as well.
Yep.
Thank you
Have a
everyone.
good day, guys. Bye bye.